So are you sure I don't need overalls?
One last stop outside London before the election.
It's not perfect. There's still a bit there.
The West Midlands, a swing region, and the polls suggest they're swinging reform.
Many people feel that life is not fair. We want to bring some fairness back. I think that's a message that will really resonate here in the West Midlands.
The Tory leader sat down with me to assess the first 19 months she's spent in the job. Clear from the outset there's a long way to go.
Kemi Badenoch, welcome to the scrap heap, as it looks like. Do you think the elections on Thursday will allow you, as Tory leader, to be able to claim that you've made progress? And if so, which bits of the country should we look to?
Yes, what people are seeing is a new Conservative Party under a new leader, and I am changing things. People like our policies. They're very popular up and down the country. What we need to really focus on now is winning trust.
You have jumped in that answer that I listened to hard away from the results in the early hours of Friday morning. Are you concerned that that's because if you look at them, they could look like things are getting worse compared to the moment that you were elected?
Because the world that we're in is changing. People are retreating into tribes. We're seeing a lot of fragmentation across the board. But if you compare the results next Thursday with last year, you will see that progress is being made.
I mean, I have heard people talk about multi-party politics for the better part of 2 decades. It tends to be the people who are doing less well rather than better who throw in multi-party politics as a
well,
thing.
Except it's the reality. I mean, you only just need to look at what is happening. It is multi-party politics. No one can deny that.
Expectation management in full swing. She wants us to compare the results to last year, not the general election, the year she entered the job.
Local election results and general election results don't necessarily tarry. Or marry up. What is important is, are we making progress versus how people viewed the Conservative Party last year, year on year? I want to see us moving forward. We will have some good results.
She says she's changed the party, but with Tory councils putting up tax and blocking planning decisions, has it really changed that much?
30 of the 35 Tory-led councils put up council tax by the maximum needed without a referendum. Pretty much identical in proportion to other parties. Being a lower tax party is something that the Tories have said since year dot, but you just still, as a party, don't deliver it.
Well, one of the things that we need to recognise is that many councils get their money from the government. You look at the rural payments grants. Labour has changed this to favour urban areas. That's one of the reasons why Conservative councils, which are quite often in rural areas, are having to do things differently. But you look at the services they provide, they're still delivering more compared to other councils. I'm not saying Conservative councils are perfect. I'm not saying they don't do anything wrong, but across the board, you can rely on them.
The national message is growth. But what's her view on Tory councils saying no?
You talk a great game on growth. We've done a lot of research into growth and things that are holding back this country, and particularly into councils that block planning applications, what's known as unreasonably, when it goes to appeal. 7 of the top 10 councils that paid out the most for unreasonable decisions, for blockages that shouldn't have happened, were Tory councils. 181 cases of unreasonable planning decisions amongst these 7 top Tory councils. Tory councils are NIMBY councils. Isn't that the reality?
No, I don't think so. What I also know is that most people are now very resentful of a lot of infrastructure because they think that things are imposed on their communities. You look at London. London building has fallen by about 80%. This is one of the things that's going wrong, and then lots of other areas are having to pick up the burden.
The Tories would allow their local councillors to do deals with reform if it advances a Conservative agenda. This the biggest difference with the other main parties.
So at local level, you've been very clear that this is up to local leaders to make the best decision to work out who, if there's a minority arrangement, to make the council or the parliament leader. So in theory, a vote on Thursday could mean Tories propping up a reform-led administration somewhere. Now, that's a big difference because the Greens, the Lib Dems, Labour, all nationalist parties, they all say they wouldn't do that, but the Tories would. Do you accept that that's a big difference in terms of attitude to reform?
So we have a test case. Last year, we had lots of elections where reform won many councils. How many of them are being run with Conservatives? 0. So we have proof. We are willing to work with people who will help deliver Conservative policies.
High spirits at her last election rally. This attests to the electorate and party morale. The shadow over this party, how to deal with Nigel Farage. Sam Coates, Sky News, Solihull.